Okay, so today let's talk about leasing and depreciation. Okay, and what a residual value is. When you lease a car, at the end of the lease, you have the option to buy that car. In fact, the dealer would probably prefer that you buy it. Why do you think that might be? I'm guessing. Why do you think the dealer might want it? Exactly. They don't have to deal with selling it, right? They get it off the lot and keep moving, right? Sometimes, if you're looking for a used car to buy, you can get a pretty good deal on a lease return, right? Because they want it off the lot. They want to move it, right? Especially if they can sell it to you for more than what it's worth. The residual value is the amount of the original price you pay after the lease. So it's what the car is worth. Okay, so all vehicles lose value as they become older. Unlike humans. Little joke there. This is called depreciation. A new car often depreciates by about 25% in its first year, as soon as you drive it off the lot, really. And then subsequently, they depreciate by about 10 to 15% each year. Oh, geez. 10 to 15%, right? Usually, and you don't have to figure this out, the dealer will, they will tell you what the car is worth. I don't think there's a lot of negotiation. I've never leased a car. Okay, so as an example, Alan bought a new car 3 years ago for $24,995. This is, are there any bombs that coming ahead of me here?
You know what? I didn't get that far.
Okay, that's okay.
I just got up to residual.
Okay, no problem.
Just a minute.
Hey.
Is the Alan Burnett?
Yeah, I believe so, yeah. Or Alan Wrench, I think maybe. Okay. Alan bought a new car 3 years ago for $24,995. What is the value of the car now? So how do we do that? Okay, so it said 25% in the first year, right? Okay, so we're going to take 24. You guys don't have the table, I don't think, do you?
I think I have this,
Oh, you don't have the booklet? Mrs. Peslowski, would you find one in the back there for writing? It should be back. Oh, you know what? I was short of these.
Yeah, you have to make more. Wish I got the last one.
Oh, okay.
We got one here.
One booklet? Okay, thank you. Okay, so we're going to multiply by, we're saying that it's losing 25%. Thank you, Ms. Peslowski. We're going to lose 25%, so we got to figure out what 25% of that is, right? Right? What are you doing? Oh. So we're multiplying by 0.25, and you get 62, 48, 75. That's how much the car loses in value. So now, of course, we're going to subtract. We're going to subtract that 62, 48, 75. This is tedious work. I don't like this. It seems like a waste of time. 746, 25.
We're just going to do year one, so not going to do all 3 years?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just stating an opinion. I think this seems to be a lot of work. Yeah. 18. Did I make a mistake somewhere?
Yeah, there's 25 cents. You have 25 cents at the end of 18,746.
Yeah, but when you subtract 75 cents, you're going to get 25 cents from $1.
Oh,
right?
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Yeah.
But that number's right. Okay, then what do we do in year 2? Exactly the same thing, except with this new value, right? So it's 18,746, 25. But in the second year, it doesn't lose as much value. Okay, we're going to go with the 15%. We're going to go with the 15%. So times by 15, 28, 11, it loses less, right? As cars get older, they lose less value from year to year to year. My 2000 and, I forgot to get the rims right. 2000, and what is my vehicle? 2003 Explorer doesn't lose a whole lot of value anymore because it's 16 years old. No, that's a different one. But it was in there as a sample for them to look at. So we're going to take 18,746.25, and we're going to subtract that 28,11.94. There is a shortcut way if anyone wants me to show you how to do it. It's a little bit more complicated, but once you know it, it's not too bad. Well, it's one less step, but, well, You have to do a step in your head. And now we're going to do it one more time. Generally, they give you a table that figures this out. You don't have to figure it out. But this is a good sort of exercise in figuring out, this is multiplied, knowing a percent. 23, I don't know, 9, 2390. Oh, that's a decimal. See if I can fix this without messing up. Okay, so the car is worth $13,544.16. So the car went from $24,000 to $13,000 in 3 years. Cars lose a lot of value in those first 2 or 3 years. Most people don't buy a new car every 3 years. Why? Because you're paying like huge amounts, right? You might as well, if you're going to do that, you might as well lease it. But anyways. Okay, so that is what we call the residual value, $13,544.16. Any questions about any of that? The sale price of the vehicle is $38,500. The rate of depreciation is, this time it's 20% per year. So they might give you a different percent every year. The term of the lease is 36 months. The residual value of the vehicle will be 55% of the sale price. So they're giving you 2% there. You see that? Right? Let's just read this carefully, because right away my spider senses are tingling. What the heck is going on? They're giving me 2%, right? Stay with me, man. The rate of depreciation is 20% per year. The term of the lease is 36 months, which is how many years? 3 years. And the residual value will be 55% of the sale price. So I think what they're saying is it's 20% each year, but at the end, we're just going to count it as 55. Okay? Calculate the value of the vehicle and the amount of depreciation at the end of the first year. Okay, so I can do this. I'm going to take that 3,500 and I'm just going to multiply by 20%. You should be able to do 20% as a decimal in your head by now. I get 43,505 is the... Whoa. Hold on here, horse. Okay, my notes are adding the tax on first. It does, yeah. It doesn't say anything about taxes here, right?
No.
I don't want to do it, but then I have to use my calculator instead of just writing along. So. We'll see. It doesn't say anything about taxes, so I'm going to have to do this manually. 38, that's okay. It's not going to hurt me. 38,500 times 0.2. So we're losing 7,700 in value in that first year. And then you have to subtract it. Do you want me to... Oh, geez.
It sucks to not have much room.
Do you want me to show you... Do you guys not have much room?
It's okay.
It's okay. Do you want me to show you the shortcut right now?
Why not?
30,800. Here's the shortcut way. I'll do it on the side. If you know that you're taking off 20%, what percent is left?
Well, 80.
80. Well, might not be obvious to all, right? If you're taking off 20%, then your car is worth 80%. So you could just take 38,500 multiply by 0.8. Guess what you're going to get? I don't need a calculator to figure it out. Well, I don't know about that.
It's just, honestly, actually, I find that way easier.
Yeah.
Because you're not even having...
You don't have to subtract. You got to do the multiply anyways. The only thing you have to do is subtract the 20% from 100. I think most of you can do that.
Mental, yeah.
I think most of you can do that in your head. Even if you can't, it's still one less step.
Yeah.
Well, it's the same number of steps, right?
Well, even if it's like 55.
Okay, so let's go with this again. 100 minus 20% is 80%. Then multiply by 0.8, you get 30,800. Okay? Calculate the value of the vehicle and the amount of depreciation at the end of the second year. So now I need this number here, that 30,800. 30,800. What if I can default that to 30,800? And again, I've already done the subtraction. I can just multiply by 0.80. I don't need to keep doing that subtraction. This is way better.
Wouldn't the second year be a different value?
No, they're saying it's 20% per year.
Oh, each year, yeah.
Yeah, in this case, they're saying that.
Yeah.
24,640. And then the third year. Yeah, this is way simpler when we do it my shortcut way.
Oh, yeah. Not as much writing.
accept anything?
Oh, I don't think so. I mean, that's not...
At least you get the right answer.
I will check, but
Just double check it both ways.
I'm still marking it, and I can accidentally make mistakes. I should have said that on camera.
Hey, you gotta remember, it's only us here now.
I would not mark that wrong, even if they make me. So we're multiplying by 0.8 instead of taking 20% and subtracting. Bodie, just turn it off, man.
You gotta get that vibrator fixed.
Okay, so now I can go right to part D, I think, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we got 19,712.
That's all I need to know.
Calculate the residual value of the vehicle at the end of the lease. So they said that the residual value was, it is 55% of the sale price. You got to read that carefully. It's not 55% off. It's 55% of the sale price. So the original value of the car was, what was it, Robert? 38,500. We're going to multiply by 0.55 because that's what they say the residual value is. $21,175. So compare that number to 21,175. Compare that number to this one here, 19,712. How does it value? Well, the depreciated vehicle is actually less, right? When you go 20% each time, you're saying that it's less. I don't know why you need to figure this out. It should be the same. But it certainly pays, if you're going into a dealership and you're making a deal on a lease, it certainly pays to stop and think, and it might even pay to go home and do some math. They want to make that sale right there and then, right? The last vehicle I bought, that Durango that I drive, we bought it in Winnipeg, and then they took me over to the finance guy, and he was bamboozling me with left and right and insurance and all this, and I'm like, whoa, man, I just want to go to the bank, get a check for 30 grand, and give it to you. He's like, oh, I don't know about that. And I'm like, no, that's what's going to happen. See you later. And I walked out the door, and I went and got the check, and I got back, and I said, this is what I'm giving you for the car, and I want the keys. Right?
That's how you gotta do it.
You got to do that because they are in the business of
money.
making money, right? So be firm. If you walk out the door, they'll follow you.
Oh, weasel you.
Yeah, and they'd rather make less money than no money. Remember that. There's my rant for the day. It is recorded. I'm not going to be like a YouTube sensation now, am I?
Never know, maybe I'll be posted.
Is that it? That's all we got to do?
Yeah.
Oh, and I'm not at my 15 minutes.